even if they found out a way to come back at the end of this game, like it was clearly evident as you watched it that this is a team that's probably not going to a bowl. They're going to be a disaster. Um, Everything is on the table for them. Like I really felt like, John, in the first half with the guys that were just streaking wide open for Arizona offensively against the K-State defense, that I was watching a Ron Prince defense. And yet somehow the offense made me feel worse than the defense at the end of the night, because at the end of the night, the defense gives up 23 points, a couple missed field goals that play a part, obviously, in that. But, the offense was a complete disaster. And I don't know what to say. Like, I miss Connor Riley. I am sorry, Connor Riley. We miss you. You should maybe come back to coach at Kansas State. The offensive line is an abject disaster. The play calling is a disaster. And I'll just be frank, I don't like to point the fingers at the players, but Avery Johnson was very poor tonight on a number of possessions. That last possession of the game, he was bad. So, like, third-year quarterback with his experience, it was a really poor performance. I was trying to check the numbers, Sean, but I'm pretty sure at this point it was referenced to me, and I was trying to validate it. But this does appear to be the worst start for Kansas State football since Bill Snyder's first year in 1989. So I have now went through. I'm at 2010. I'm through the 2010 season. Bill Snyder's 1989 football team started 1-3. No team has started 1-3 since. So Chris Kleiman and this team started off with a 1-3 season with losses to Army, a bad Arizona team, and a near loss to an FCS mediocre squad in North Dakota.
I mean, that's the thing, dude. Very easily could be 0-4, and like looking at like what game are you winning this year? Cole, this is how I summed this up to Nick, our producer, before you hopped on here. Difference between offense and defense tonight. Like, I do at least appreciate, the defense had a couple. They had moments where like they looked like they were fairly consistently trying, at least after the first maybe like quarter and a half. From that point on, they did okay. They 6 points in the second half. Some embarrassing angles taken. Maybe the most embarrassing play of the game was that like 3rd and 17 dump down. Yeah. And Daniel Cobbs takes a horrible angle. I'm sure there were others. But the defense looked to me like a unit that regularly practices the game of football, which is ironic because I think they didn't practice as much this week because they were so tired against Army. But the offense, do they look like a unit that gets together and organizes practices every week? Dude, it is so disjointed. I have no idea what the plan is. But, there are problems everywhere. You're right. Avery Johnson was awful, and I think he has been not like low on the list of problems, but there have been many problems above him on the list throughout this season. Tonight might be the game where he's closest to the top in terms of the problems. But beyond that, it's like the guy does have no help because he's got a mediocre at very best running back room. Dylan Edwards, you could see right away, makes a difference when he had like a carry or two with a little bit of burst, but then he gets hurt and he's gone again. They probably should have just not played him tonight, based on the way that it went. Who knows what the status, what his status will be moving forward from here. But, dude, the offensive line, they cannot turn around and hand the ball off and run a conventional running without 2 defenders in the backfield by the time the back is getting the ball, or Avery himself sometimes, in defense of Avery. They tried a design quarterback run at one point, which we've been clamoring for and yelling and screaming for, and they just let a free rusher come right through, just straight past the offensive line before anybody can even look up and do anything. And Avery has no chance. I do not. It's crazy. Connor Riley must be, we thought he was a good offensive line coach. He must be one hell of an offensive line coach based on the way that thing has dropped off. I mean, they were reaching for guys to throw out there to play on the offensive line tonight, just looking for somebody to step up and hit somebody or do something. Receivers continue to drop passes. And then I get it. I just outlined all these different issues, so it's hard to have too much of a plan if you're the offensive coordinator when this is what you're getting in terms of what's actually out there on the field. But Cole, like what is the plan? What is Matt Wells trying to do exactly with the offense? Like the only thing they can do remotely well is throw the ball down the field, and they waited way too long to try and go to that more. And then even when that started, RG3 was doing a really good job on the broadcast of pointing out all the times that Avery was just being a one-read dude, and he kind of like misread the coverage on one of the go balls that he threw to Jace after he had completed the back shoulder. He just tries to go to it again. It's not the right throw based on the coverage that was there. So now we're back to Avery having problems just with confidence, not wanting to run the ball, locking on to one guy once again, which happened multiple times in the game, and just not being able to like really read or diagnose or check out of things. I mean, the whole operation is just such a mess from top to bottom that I don't know where you start in rebuilding it at this point.
Yeah, no, they have no identity. And Chris Kleiman said on the post game with Wyatt Thompson and Stan Weber on the K-State Sports Radio Network that he's not sure what their identity is right now. And I mean, I think that's probably an accurate assessment. That's unfortunate, but they can't run the football. It's the worst running team, obviously, in the Kleiman era, and honestly looks like the worst running team that I don't even know how long I'd have to go back. I mean, this offensive line play is among the worst that I think you and I have probably seen in our lifetimes, John, from a Kansas State football team. I mean, they can't pre-identify a blitz. They can't pick up a twist. They can't pick up a stunt. They have no idea what the hell they're doing out there. There are free rushers coming off the edge. They don't slide protections. There's pre-snap issues. Now, some of that's on Avery Johnson and the coaches as well, that they can't, read the defense pre-snap and understand what they're doing and make an adjustment. I mean, one of the runs that you mentioned, John, I think Curry, he had mentioned in that one of those quarterback keepers that Avery ran, like I don't want to like that. That's just a play that you can't be running it there. I mean, they have a free rusher coming up inside, but it wasn't going to work regardless. Like Avery Johnson one time, John, like they get a 6-yard run from Antonio Martin, and this is back in the first half. So they're in 2nd and 4, and then they run a read play to JB Price motioning. They immediately took Antonio Martin off the field. They run a replay to JB Price motioning, and Avery Johnson just falls. Like come on. Like, you're supposed to be an athlete, and you're just tripping over your own feet and losing 3 yards. Like, Avery Johnson also got away with 2-3 horrendous throws tonight that could have been interceptions where he doesn't see the safety and he's throwing it into double, triple coverage. Like, this is a guy that has started enough games by now. He should be able to read what the defense is doing. And it is clear that he's not. They are not making pre-snap adjustments. They can't identify things pre-snap. They're not getting into the right plays. And I swear, John, if I see another one of those 3rd and 1, 3rd and 2s where they run a little dump off on the same play to the tight end that gets nothing, like we saw against Iowa State, I'm going to lose my mind. I mean, actually, I'm not, because I'm checked out.
I'm with you. I'm checked out.
Like, it's incompetence. It's coaching malpractice that Matt Wells continues to go to that. I don't know what the hell Matt Wells is doing. I mean, the predictability of this offense is just, they run on the first play of the second half, a 75-yard run to Jace Brown, and then it's right back to the same old stuff.